Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to our little base over on the Eastern Island. In today's episode, I am going to be trying to level up about 2 or 3 times by creating a brand new section to the base. This area over here, this main, very flat section, I want to be a sort of courtyard so that if we ever build a very large building or any form of defense, be it the ballista turret, be it the catapult, we can build it out here rather than in the very cramped section over there. I feel like the main area we have at the moment, this bit over here, can be very easily converted into one giant farm as soon as we start making the greenhouses, as soon as we sort out all of our seeds and everything, and perhaps get a few more dung beetles. This area can be one giant stable, a dung beetle stable and a farm. Then we can build a bit more of a compound out here. Now, of course, like I say, the reason why I want to do this today is because I need to level up quite a bit to get the fabricator and to actually get the greenhouse itself and all of the other recipes I need. I'm still on only times 1.5 experience. I'm trying to keep it there for as long as possible. I was on times 2. I found even that was too fast, but I feel like this is a good compromise. Now, you may also notice I have a new terror bird, because after using little Ty Lee here for quite a while, leveling up to level 5 in fact, and in fact now level 6, I actually realised something. These are a load of fun to use. They do a lot of damage because although it's not much damage per shot, they attack incredibly quickly, they're incredibly quick moving, and that jump is really useful. I underestimated it loads. So I went out and I found a much higher level one, which I've called May, and please forgive me for the naming of these things. My fiancé came in and said, "Oh look, you have Azula, the raptor. How about these two can be Tylee and May?" It all matches perfectly, with May looking so gothic and evil. So there we are, we have Tylee, we have May, everything is all lovely and good. Now the one problem, which did happen off camera after getting this thing, my shark died. So half of the last episode, completely worthless. I do apologise for that, but that's just what happens when you don't record in batch recording sometimes. What happened to you? Oh, were you following the beaver? Anyway, yeah, the shark died to a manta attack because the mantas got into the main area. I tried to save the shark, and thus I died. On the upside, I now have a hunter hat. So yay for that. So I'm going to get building. I've brought out all of my harvest animals other than the bear, and I'll be right back once we've made some significant progress. We need to do loads today, so expect a lot of cuts, and it should be over pretty quickly. I do not remember stone behemoth gates being this big, but here we are with my very first ever behemoth gate on this season, and, well, yeah, I can't believe it's this big. I mean, it makes complete sense since it has to allow Brontos and such through, but this has actually put me in quite a bad place, because originally I was going to build this wall all the way to the top of the gate and make it look a bit more impressive, but now this is going to be a bit difficult. I didn't even really intend to start recording again this early. I wanted this wall basically complete, but here we are with the weirdness. Also, being the dummy I am, I accidentally made the regular gateway first, and then realised, oh, the one I wanted is in the smithy. So I want to test one thing out very quickly. So, stone, oh wait, I have it right here, stone wall, what do I need? A little bit of stone, a little bit of wood. Most of it's currently in the smithy, so let's have a look if I've got any left for some reason on the beaver. Not quite sure why I put it into the beaver's inventory, but there we are. Oh, because it has that weird discount thing where everything is lighter. That's why, I actually had a perfectly valid reason. Go me! Because that always happens. I just want to make sure this can actually go next to it. Okay, it can. It kind of can. There's a bit of a gap on that side. I may have to replace the foundation pieces. How about on this side? Same again. Now, is that an issue where I've put the foundation down wrong, or is that an issue... wood? Where it's just that's how it is. I honestly can't remember. It's been a very long time since I've built with this. Let's very quickly destroy these. And let's attach this to here. That actually locked on, that's perfect. And no, there is still a gap. I bet we can put it closer, but it would be quite difficult. Let's see if we can, though. No, because it automatically tags on. That's oh no, because there's one underneath, that's why. You, go away. Okay, so it doesn't actually lock on, that's perfect. Put it there. And we no longer have a gap, so that's perfect. Oh my lord, how many of these am I going to have? I'm going to think about 10, no, more than 10, about 20 perhaps? Also, that's the wrong way round, because I wasn't paying attention. We'll see. I'll be back soon. I also have to make the actual gate door itself, so yeah. Need to destroy all of the foundation I've put down, and I need to do a bit more work. Already we are back because I've had a different idea. Rather than using the fences and having just a one thick wall, what if we use the stone foundation, which admittedly is going to be significantly more expensive, there we are, and have the wall attached like this, so then the wall simply goes up, and then at the top we can have a walkway, so once we add some ladders we can walk all the way to the top, and then walk along the top of the wall. This is going to take significantly longer, but I think it's going to make the whole area look absolutely awesome, especially if we do this to every section we're going to wall off. But I think if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to the extreme, hello mate, and let's increase your weight capacity for a second, or perhaps put some stuff in another's inventory. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to the extreme, and I'm going to go ahead and wall off a section I wasn't originally going to wall off. So we'll wall off here, and we will wall off here. My lord, I'm saying wall more than Donald Trump. So from here, over to here, then from there, over to there, and then if there's a gap behind that, there as well, rather than simply there to there. But that all depends on how much stone it's actually going to take, how long this is going to take, and how much patience I actually have. I mean, I've already leveled up one, so that's pretty darn cool. I just found out something really useful. It turns out you can actually build very far into the behemoth gate. This means we can have the wall actually going inside of the gate and looking like it's part of the main structure, which is really, really helpful. So I think I am going to stick with the foundations. It's going to give an overall better look, and I think it's just going to be more accessible. Also, if we do end up putting a catapult on top of here just for the fun of it, or a ballista, it's going to look a bit more sturdy. Now, to be honest, this has taken a while. This wasn't a very quick endeavour. I am still nowhere near done, obviously, but it's already been around about 10 minutes, and that's with my bonus harvesting all in play. So, still not sure if I'm going to do the rest of the sides, but we can carry on, and hopefully we'll get at least 2 walls done by the end of the episode, at least. Already a change of plan. As my Doedicurus goes back with a fully loaded inventory full of stone, I'm going to quickly run back as well, because I've hit a bit of a snag. Again, it seems like every time I try and do anything at the moment, I am fraught with problems. I think it's my inability to plan ahead, really. But either way, regardless, what's causing the issue. So at the moment, where we're building here, if I continue to build in this lovely straight line, I encounter this section here, which slowly ramps upwards. The problem with that is it means the foundation will have to ramp upwards as well, otherwise there's going to be the problem of it just isn't going to work. The foundation simply clips in here and doesn't allow it, which isn't what I want, as I want this to be as flat as possible on the top, and it will never really achieve that look if I keep on tiering the foundation, because it won't tier a perfect full stone wall each time. So instead of building between these rock formations, I'm going to build a corner here, probably build some kind of tower structure, some kind of fortified tower on the wall section. That's going to be where the ballista turret is. Then from there, we're going to carry on all the way to that stone formation, because that is lovely and flat, and then that way we've actually cornered everything off with only 2 turns. Well, with only 1 turn, honestly. 1 corner section, 2 long sections of wall. So, if all that goes to plan, which honestly I'm not expecting it to at this stage, then it will be pretty easy and look pretty nice. Maybe. Okay, so time for a bit of an update then. So it's been a few day cycles, and I've got most of the foundation now sorted, using our lovely Doedicurus and our lovely beaver over here, which honestly, without these two, I just couldn't have done this at all. So I love it in Ark when you actually get to use the dinosaurs, you get to use the animals, and it all just works out well. But anyway, so I've decided every 7 regular stone foundations, we're making these tiny little towers here, which hopefully hopefully will be big enough to hold a ballista turret or a catapult each. If we have a quick look to here, they are sadly very expensive, so I'm probably going with the cheaper of the two, going with the catapult turret here, which only costs 300 metal, whereas, oh no, they both cost the same metal, it's only the wood which is different, and then a few other different things. Well, in that case, honestly, it could be absolutely either of them, but I've came to a bit of a decision time. So over here, we have only a little while left now before we reach the next section, and honestly, we'll probably add maybe one more tower and then that will be that. So the question is, am I going to have another gate? I may have a smaller gate over here, I may have one of the massive gates. The problem is, the large gates are actually very, very expensive, but it will definitely look a lot more grand. But at the same time, I feel like it may take away from this gate if we have two of them, so I really don't know which. Let's have a quick look-see, stone, there we are. It costs stone, it costs wood, so it isn't really expensive in the sense of metal and such, which obviously is more of a finite resource on the island. It's just a matter of going out and farming all the stuff after farming all the stuff for this. And the fact I am currently using metal nodes for stone, because I've pretty much used all the stone around here. Seriously, can you see any more stone reserves? I've used them all, and actually most of the trees as well. Even the trees are going back. Decisions, decisions. Maybe a smaller one. Maybe. Okay, so what I've decided is I will have a small gateway here, just to make sure I can get in and out nice and easily, rather than having to go all the way along the wall, but only if we can actually make it blend in quite well. So, what we're going to do is put this as close as possible to the stone foundation there, about here. We're going to wall that up. We have a few walls in our inventory at the moment. There they are. Then that can go all the way up. Let's see if we can actually get this to work properly. Is that the right way around? Yes, it is. Like that. Then we'd need ceiling to go across. I have a couple of ceiling as well, because I was thinking this would work. So, then we use the ceiling. The problem is, of course, this isn't going to be completely flush, so there will be a bit of a gap between the two. Also, I can't actually get that high, so let me just go and get our argent, and then we'll come back and try and sort this out. Now, this may look like a pile of rubble that I've been experimenting on, and that's because it is a pile of rubble I've been experimenting on. This is now my last attempt at working with the smaller stone gateway, this one here, after trying multiple times and not getting it to work. My understanding, though, is that once you've placed things like the ceilings, you can then place a lot of the gateways and such, and it will actually work. You can clip items through, so if that works now, we can make kind of a gateway. Or at least that's the idea. Oh god, it actually works. I'll be honest, didn't really expect that at all. How far can we clip? Really far. So we want it so the next wall has a little bit of space. Maybe I should actually make the next little bit of wall so I can see what I'm doing first of all. Can I place this before? No, I need to put down the foundation. So I know this is wasteful, but it's the only way to make sure I'm doing it completely straight. Destroy you. Yes, I know, I'm encumbered. I've been using the bird to get around. Oh. I knew I had the wall there. You can't prove that I didn't. Maybe I'm testing you all. You've all passed, by the way. You go here. I bet I won't get this first time. I can rotate it once I hold down the mouse button, but that's honestly not going to help in this scenario. Okay. That looks actually okay. Obviously, that top bit of ceiling there I am going to destroy. That was my first attempt at doing this. Actually, that looks pretty good. As long as this corner works, then everything should be okay. And then we just cover this up, like so. Yeah, I am completely happy with that. That is a rarity, honestly, because normally I'm basically annoyed with everything I build. But that works just fine. We could have that between every single tower, but I feel like that would kind of cheapen this particular one. Also, this then is exactly the size of 2 foundations, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more foundation, then another tower, then we can probably get one more tower, and thus one more ballista or catapult. All is going pretty well. Let's talk about something non-wall related for a second. We have our first fruitling crops. Now, I've already harvested a few of them, and we have made our very first bug repellent. It turns out, bug repellent actually spoils. I wouldn't have expected that, but apparently it does in this world. So, that means we're going to have to make it next time before we actually use it. Although, it's got like 20 hours when being held by an animal. If I'm holding it, it's something like 2 hours. Also, we have narco berries, which are also now fruitlings. Absolutely excellent. All of these narco berries? That looks like a very innocent plant for something which makes something called narco berries. We also have these now on middling status. We have a load of fruitlings down here as well. All is going well at the farms. And now back to talking about the wall. I've decided something. I've decided we're not going to space out the towers exactly as I was originally saying around that gate. Instead, we're going to have a tower on both sides. So we have the gate, one single foundation, then a tower, the gate, one single foundation, then the tower, because that way we can have one last tower perfectly in the middle between that and this. Not the bird's bum, the rock formation rather. It's getting very late at this stage. I've been recording for like 2 hours more than I originally intended, but I really want to get this done. It's a labour of love at this stage. And there we are. Okay, level 63. I think at this stage we should really have a look at what we're actually going to be unlocking. Also, how many times have I said actually during this recording? I've kind of caught myself repeating the same phrases over and over. I guess that's what kind of happens when you record for a long period of time, and then you have to keep on starting recording areas, so it's easier to edit together. Anyhow, let's have a quick look-see. First of all, I would like even more maximum weight capacity, so the things we need: fabricator, generator. Things I want: greenhouse. So we definitely need the wall, we definitely need the ceiling. That way we could basically make a box if we get these three. Oh, look, there's even a door. Isn't that adorable? Adorable. Ha, hilarious. I'll take you. So at least we can make a huge box of it. I'm assuming if we have a hole in the side as a door, it probably won't work out too well, but at least we can have a normal door frame, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure how it works. We'll find out later. So let's see how much this costs. Where are you, my beaver? This is the first time I'm actually moving the whole group together as well, so a very good time to level up. What I've been basically doing is I've kept May in the corner there, and I've grabbed one animal, went out, completely fully loaded it, let go of it, it would then run back to May. In the same amount of time, I then take the second animal, fully load that one, let it go back, then they all meet together in the middle anyway. This way, I just feel like I'm going to end up losing an animal to being stuck by a tree or something. That went on a really weird tangent. I am remarkably tired right now. Greenhouse, yes. Cementing paste is fine. Crystal, there's actually loads around this island, so that's surprisingly easy. I was expecting it to probably use polymer, which we can get from... Oh wait, no, of course not, because this doesn't require a fabricator, so I wouldn't need polymer. That makes no sense. Okay, well, grab you, grab you. Why can't I make any more? Probably some out of, yep, thatch. So that I will have to get myself, because I don't have a thatch harvester. Is there even a thatch harvester in the game? I guess just animals which don't collect properly from trees anyway. I can now explain what I was trying to explain a moment ago. So, This gatehouse segment is going to have this little overlapping bit of ceiling here, which is basically connecting the two towers, rather than just having this one little walkway segment. That way, on top of the gatehouse, we can possibly add something else, maybe, well, probably not a turret, but perhaps some storage, something which looks nice, some kind of decoration, but something on the top here, so the gate segment is underneath, we have some fence on both sides, and it just makes these two towers look more part of the gatehouse, whereas if we just had it one thick rather than three thick, I feel like it would just look like a piece of wall we've took a chunk out of, if that makes any sense. It's so difficult to explain something when you haven't got much of a visual medium to show. One rather large metal reserve now completely used up for stone, and a load of trees also cleared. So how much did that actually give us? That gave us a grand total of 35 stone walls, 6 stone ceiling, and 2 stone door frames. So now we're going to leave the group once more, and see just how much that actually helps the wall effort. I'm starting to think that I may have gone a little bit overboard, just a tiny bit, considering this is more of a vanity project than anything really useful. And maybe I should have focused more on the useful stuff than the giant stone wall. I mean, it'll look cool when it's finished. So, before all that stuff was added, and then after everything has been added, so it hasn't really added too much, but at least it has shown the basic shape, and it has gave me some hope as well, because that wasn't really too many stone walls, not really too many ceilings, and yet it has made some of an impact. Well, there's the basic shape. We will eventually add windows once I can figure out where I want to add them, and we can see how this is going to be done. So here's the walkway. Normally this will only be 1 wide, for here it's 3 wide, like I was mentioning earlier. We'll have a doorway in here, and some ladders coming up to this floor. This will be a full floor here. We'll have an extra floor on top, which will be 1 higher than the stone walls are currently going to, in which we will mount the ballista turret or the catapult turret. At that point we have our defense, which will totally be used at some point, and it will all look fortified and nice, and everything will look right with the world. One more area, almost completely now, devoid of any stone resource, and it's time to make a couple more walls. I've just depleted one more metal area from that little stone section over there, and I have something like 48 walls at the moment, which I think will be just enough to put a 1 wall high wall all the way around the area I was just building, or at least that's the hope. Let's grab both of these for a second, and let's make some more. There we go. Grab the rest of the stones as well. How many more can I make? I'm really hoping I'm going to have enough, because if I have enough to do this, all I then need to do is make the gate pieces, and technically speaking, we have a functioning defensive structure. At that point, I can then continue to work off camera, and you're not really going to miss everything. At least that's the idea. It's now something like 4 AM, I need some sleep. Actually, no, it's 5 AM. Wow, time flies when you're building giant walls. Do I have any more stone? I have a lot of wood, and just about enough stone for a couple more. Okay, let's do that as well then. Then after that, we can bring all of these back to make the final pieces. So, you can hold the leftover wood, since you have that lovely bonus of it costing a significant amount less. I'll be taking that off you, I'll be putting that back there, and let's see if we can do what I just said we were going to do. This is oddly satisfying. Although I am now starting to wish I was making this out of thatch walls, or wood walls, or basically anything which is cheaper than stone walls, which are remarkably expensive, each and every single one of them. See, this corner is something I'm not particularly happy with. I can't turn it into a tower because the foundation doesn't play nice with this uneven terrain, and building a tower on the inside just looks really weird. So I'll have to make something out of it, I just can't think of what at the moment. And then you actually aren't done. I was about to say you are already done, but apparently not. There we are. Things can't go through there other than compies. We have the small section on the other side which isn't finished, but there we are, a one high wall. Not really going to do all that much, to be perfectly honest, but at least it's something. And, to be honest as well, things are going to be able to spawn on the inside, so it really isn't doing anything at the moment until I put down some foundations on the inside, or I start putting some animals on hostile on the inside. I need to do something to actually make this safe, but it is looking pretty darn cool, if nothing else. There we are. So then, what do I need? I need the... I need the dino gate doorway, which is this, which actually only needs a little bit more wood. So I'll go and do that now. And then I need the bigger version, which I think can only be made in the smithy. The behemoth door. I think I only need one of these for the entire doorway, don't I? It's not like this is just one piece of the door. No, it isn't. Okay. There we are. So that is all nice. The gatehouse section is done. So let's get the beaver. Let's come back here. Let's get a load more stone before coming back, and let's try to speak properly next time. The beaver may be the most useful animal by far in this game. And that should be enough wood. Already. Yes, it is, although we do need some more thatch, so I'll get that manually as soon as I get the stone. There is a couple of stone outcroppings around here I haven't yet used. Okay, so we need 450 stone. We currently have 2. I mean, it's a start. It's better than none, I suppose. Now, I could upgrade this animal's melee damage so I can harvest faster, and that is something I could potentially do in the future, but to be brutally honest, it's more the weight capacity which is the issue, because of how fast it fills up. And one more would be fine with me. Unless I already have enough. No, I do not. One, 2, 3, 4, and yep, that's enough. You can go back to May. So now all I need is the thatch, and I'm good to go back. Look what I found! This is the reason why we're making this wall in the first place. At the moment, there are raptors everywhere. And now that one is dead. I will use its blood to christen this gate. Actually, what I should have done is brought over all of my animals, that way I could bring them through as well. I'll do that in a second. Does it matter which side we're on for this? I mean, it's quite an important one, but doesn't seem to be able to swap in any way, so there we are. Behemoth Gate, which honestly looks really cool. Insert Jurassic Park theme music here. Let's go get May and everyone and come back inside, so we're now in relative safety. At least the raptors can't make it over the wall. Keeping those stinking raptors out. Now I believe that there is where the last metal area was taken, so they should be over here next to the pool. There they are. You can be on follow for a second, because I want to ride the Terror Bird. Only half, because there's absolutely adorable little wings. Come on. Oh, how many animals are going to get stuck? Honestly, I would say I've spent more time waiting for the animals to get around pieces of wood and such than I have building or harvesting. They're not the easiest to work with. Okay, oh, yep, they've all made it through, well done. You're now all experiencing the horror I've had to go through. But on a much smaller scale. Yeah, when this is finished, it's going to look very, very cool. I've also finally decided on the height of the towers. They're going to be that big. So 2 higher than the walkway, so 2 higher than the regular wall segments. I was originally going to have them at only 1 higher, but I felt like that looked a little bit too stumpy. I see 2 out of 4. Oh, you just teleported out of nowhere. Where's the Doedicurus? It didn't even make it this far? Really? Come on, you can do it. There you go. Are you overburdened? No, you're definitely not. Finally, they're all back in relative safety, and I would say, although this took way longer than expected, and now I am ridiculously tired, this was a very successful day of building. So off camera, I'm going to be a little bit busy sorting out some more of this wall, probably not completing it before the next episode, but hopefully at least completing the gatehouse and the connecting two pieces of wall, and then next episode we're going to start up the fabricator and start making some more interesting items, or perhaps we will use the bug repellent and go and tame one of those giant millipedes, because honestly the giant millipedes seem really, really cool. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go off to bed, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and shows that Ark Survival Evolved is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.